System survey concluded.
I have enough hours. Oh yeah, fungal emitters. Let's do this. Or should I wait? Spanish isn't enough about that. Below the surface of Borbo 3 lives the most peculiar organism. Scans and samples show some sort of mycelium littered with spores. Compared to the traditional size of spores in our homeworld, these are massive. Their surface is a shimmering kaleidoscope, and the hues seem to change based on their surroundings. The strangest thing about them is that they seem to form a network capable of joining what the science crew believes could be a signal. The current missions are very weak, but with some effort it might be possible to find out where they lead. Gain unity by saying we don't have time for this. Sell them for energy. Or try to identify the signal destination. I'm 90% sure all that does is tell me to go to the Orval system. Give me a second. Yep, it's as I remembered. You just get the location in the Orval system, which I already know where it is. Normally. Not always. What I didn't know, and I learned, is that there's a 1 in 5 chance instead of giving you the location of Orval system, it'll give you scaled 24 times your monthly output of society research, which for me it's like 4,800, and since I'm not producing all things in equal amounts, that's very good, but I'm also producing a ton of uni, so this caps out 1,000 energy. This said it caps out at 1,000 uni. Maybe it was missing some extra zeros and it's 1,000,000. That's usually what it uni caps out. Maybe it's been changed since. Either way, we don't have time for this. Now, it's also worth noting, and this is something if you had done the desiccated site first, you could graft onto the network if you chose to listen with it, which not necessarily something I'd want to do, especially because there's a benefit to getting mushroom picking colony event before you excavate Orval, if I remember correctly. Because yeah, you can get both listening with it and get a thing where no one is listening. But anyways, it's all Empire modifiers that won't be passing on to my successor Empire anyways, as I understand it. So I'd rather just snowball uni. This brought me closer to resistance is frugal, which will massively increase my uni output. High yield tech that I don't have yet. And then I could finish off the domination tradition, I guess, for mastery of nature. Where the heck is it? Clearbach or cost? Sure, whatever. A decision that costs influence, which I have not enough things to use influence on right now, for extra +2 districts. That should stick around when I stop playing as this empire and swap to my successor empire by releasing it and choosing to play as them. If I'm wrong about that being an option, I can always use multiplayer. Like, technically load the game as multiplayer, swap to Empire, and then resave as single player. That will also work, I think. That might stop making more achievements. But I'm pretty sure, and that some of you will hate that and think it's not legit. Pretty sure though, there's just an option to play as, and that's what I'm intending to do. That's obviously there's a checkbox to play as something. Could just be thinking Hearts Iron 4, but I'm pretty sure it's part of this game. I know in Hearts Iron 4 you can play as a released puppet. You don't have to make it a puppet as a release, any releasable tag. That's it. And in fact, there's an achievement for releasing Egypt, which is a start off in the game unless you do a special setting, which would disable achievements anyways. And doing certain things as Egypt. And the only way you can do that is by starting as the British Empire in Hearts Iron 4 and swapping to play as them. It's a legit thing. It's just not done in Stellaris because there's no achievements for it. So maybe players don't bother. Be cool if there were achievements for basically doing a succession thing like that, but whatever. Expansion completes the first day next month. I think I did it the moment it was available. I don't know. I think I had to wait for a month to take over enough minerals or something like that. I can start in some luxury housing until the artificial workforce is available and swap into robot. Some of my plants cost a substantial amount of minerals though. Meh. I just don't do anything actually because it needs to save minerals. Because I need to get the ship back. I didn't choose cargo. What cargo? Not for this event. I probably would have. I forget if I had already lost the signed ship when I chose to grab those minerals, or let the thing expire. Actually, I would have taken influence. I don't know. Also, what happened with my food production? Suddenly I'm not in deficit anymore. Oh, they have a lot more farmers now. So resell civilians here. More pops, but they all generated special strength yet again. Irritating. Could have something to do with the fact that there's technically jobs there, even though they're all disabled. Like I shut down enforcer jobs. Could be a bug like that. Stupid one. 1.78 pop growth from pops. Ain't getting that much housing, so I guess it won't go up that much yet, but the luxury housing will add a lot to pop growth. Now you can put actually a variety of buildings here. Sure, I can do luxury housing. Where is it? Luxury residences, yep, but I can also do possibly the robot factory. Xenobiology labs? Really? So I can just run some buffed up biologists. It's not a bad idea. Not be sell with other researchers who aren't buffed. Heck, I can even go all on civilian industry. That's interesting. Unexpected, interesting, but pop growth is king for now, so. Very close to the artificial workforce. Mm-hmm. Luxury residences. 360. Yeah, no, that would delay the robot factory. 3. Though it might be worth it, depending on how much growth I gained. I doubt it. I doubt it. So I may eventually swap this to a different specialization. But with luxury residences at first, then maybe later turn to civilian industry or something and turn this to the same. Yeah, you can double up on civilian industry. Make that world a manufacturing world in the long run. And some mines so that I don't have to import the minerals to do the manufacturing. Probably a single ag and general district, but otherwise mostly mining and manufacturing. Cool. And then over time, I got a little go. Production yards here. I do have some technician jobs available. Is it not generating workers? Whatever. So definitely augment the automation building if nothing else, and just
We are being hailed.
Research agreement. Can learn far fewer texts than I share. Friendly. Hold on. Probably enough trust for a defensive pat, which is a great way to gain more trust and as use if I can provoke the hive to attacking me. Trust is max at 75. Trust improves both, so I can get opinion up to about plus 226-ish. It's not a high enough trust cap. I think defensive pack makes it max higher though. There's some improved relations. I think to get positive relations, I need defensive pack. Don't really want a migration treaty. Their pops suck. Except for technician jobs. On dry worlds. Yeah, I don't want them. Even then, they're unhappy. Research agreement make them stronger, which will make them a better ally. It'll help me some. Heck, I agree. The defensive pack in a bit, but not swimming at limited influence. It doesn't actually make them stronger. Eventually, I'm gonna do is peacefully subjugate and annex them. But you can't subjugate empires in a federation with you. I want to form a fed with them. Better to expand for now. Develop their worlds. Observe their pre-FDLs. That's a machine age civ. It's a bronze age. Interesting. And that is early space age. Yeah, I'd like to things gain the observation post benefits. So annex Gain the new techs from observation missions. Gain an egalitarian faction, which will allow me to eventually shift to egalitarian myself. Then much later, after I've done the Great and Idol and stuff, we'll probably swap out a pacifist. It's quite possible to expand when pacifist, as long as you're not bad pacifist with Liberation Wars, but still very slow. It's much quicker without. This Mega Course gets some cool militarist always civics, so I'll probably eventually do that. Authoritarian has its uses, though. Admittedly. If I run permanent employment, authoritarian prevents an event chain where you have to, I think, either take authoritarian ethos attraction or get some debuff. Since I eventually want to swap egalitarian, not stay authoritarian. I don't want permanent authoritarian ethics attraction modifier. But my successor empire wouldn't have the modifier either way. But yeah, permanent employment, so zombie pops. Anyhow. Having them in my empire will probably also be a source of xenophobe and xenophile factions. Materials to form because of robots eventually. Definitely xenophile, xenophobe. Maybe, maybe not. So I don't want all these factions. Well, just their existence, they'll draw some pops them in, they'll usually be unhappy. But egalitarian, I definitely want to swap to someday. First cooperative is pretty nice civic. A specialist pop output. It's all cool.
System survey concluded.
Plus, you know, being good guys from a roleplay perspective. Some of you may disagree, but I absolutely consider egalitarians the good guys. In fact, most people seem to think egalitarian is a nice sounding word, to the point where people try and claim bullshit like, oh, if the United States was a Stellaris nation, it would be egalitarian. No one. It's very much an authoritarian nation. Stratified economy, yeah, it's democracy, some people say, but it's really not. It's an oligarchy. So it's an authoritarian oligarchy. Ironically, authoritarian has to do with levels of economic equality. Ironically, people say, oh, the Soviet Union was authoritarian. Well, that's why authoritarian isn't a great name, because they strong use of state power, but in terms of economic equality, they'd be egalitarian. Because, in fact, they had the second highest income equality in the world after Sweden for most of their, 20th century history. Well, okay, that particular thing was, I think, in 1970, but yeah, they were highly equitable, whereas the United States has long been one of the more unequal countries on Earth. Certainly for a developed country, it's one of the most unequal. There's some microstates that are more unequal, but among the large countries, it's up there. Many countries have higher equality ratings than the US. It's in the bottom half for sure of developed countries. No matter how you just skew the stats. Try and bullshit them. Make it look more equal than it is, which the US loves to do, and still ranks poorly despite bullshitting the stats. When you mess with the stats and you still rank poorly, well, you suck.
Construction completed.
Ah, new starbase. Hydroponics bay because I need food. For Genesis arcs. Going this way to try and meet new empires. we can trade with, and maybe research agreements and such. Uplifting pre-sapiens will definitely get me a xenophile faction. I don't know if I'll end up having a xenophobe anytime soon. And the xenophobes don't like me, so probably better I don't have them. I don't intend to do nonsense for like livestock pops, most likely. It's not worth it anymore, even from a min-max perspective, and the diplomacy and the roleplay side of it is really ugly, obviously. So on green type stuff, so we can even consider vaguely not super unethical, as if it's like a nerve staple species that maybe isn't really sapient. And that's depending on what you understand nerve staple to mean. Like a nerve staple spare organ species, maybe not even being killed, but just like, here's a kidney. Sometimes people eat it, sometimes people use it for organ transplants, I don't know. Like, if it's genetically engineered to not have a different immune system, because normally that'd be problems. Though people do get like pig hearts, so pig heart valves, but those are acellular. Normally cells from another species would be rejected. Natural wormhole. We have detected what appears to be a naturally occurring subspace phenomenon on the edge of the Baham system. A rift in the very fabric of space-time has formed here, creating a wormhole that our scientists speculate may provide a conduit through subspace to another wormhole located somewhere else in our galaxy. Depending on where the second wormhole is located, this could potentially allow ships to travel from one end of the galaxy to the other in a matter of days. Unfortunately, this wormhole, like the vast majority of its kind, is inherently unstable. Any vessels foolish enough to pass through it would be ripped apart in seconds. It could somehow be stabilized. Yep. I already knew that was there. But I didn't get that message, that toast, until I entered the system. I think entering the system, that event now allows me to someday roll wormhole stabilization. I may have to be on my borders. There's a tech to stabilize wormholes. To assign ships to go through them first, and then later other ships, I remember. Okay. Anyways. Probably next month I'll be able to start another starbase. I have to remember that. Oh shoot, they've been sitting here. Oh, no, Bubbles is still catching up. They haven't been sitting here a while, man. I'm okay with Bubbles lagging a little behind. But she does help reduce the risk of other ships dying, so I'll have them start moving in. Even with these artisans, I'm running consumer good deficit. That's about industry building soon. Can't do it just yet. Need minerals for robots. There we go. Cultist, quote, marauders. Not really marauders. Encountered. More ships belonging to the Red Prophets have been encountered in the Mathrat system. They are approaching an attack formation. It's the last group, besides these, which I can see. I want this system first, because this is a weaker fleet. I want to pick up the weak fleets first. In fact, I was lucky I got the very weakest one first in Brius. There's no telling the weakest or not. I'll wait here. In theory, I'd be using the occasional asteroids here at recover. Realistically, they wouldn't be close enough to dodge between, but like could hide some ships behind one asteroid. In a real asteroid belt, the asteroids are kilometers apart. But then again, space warfare would probably take place over hundreds of kilometers, like fleets be spread over hundreds of kilometers, so they could hide a substantial number of ships behind them for cover against projectiles or lasers. At least to avoid detection, even if it's, which would be concealment, not cover in that case, but maybe even be enough to block some stuff. Unfortunately, you can't use terrain like that in this game. No bonuses from stationing a fleet near an asteroid or something. An orbit, air quote, orbit of one. I'm sure someone's made a mod for it, but cool. Now the voltaic production yards are done. Even more unfilled technician jobs. Even more automated ones. Dedicated to large scale energy production, this building houses power cells, plasma conduits, and high output generator arrays. Anchor's doing the same. This will get disabled though until I have automation building. It improves the cost effectiveness of automating. Once the automation building, I'll probably reactivate this. And it'll be worth, I think, having energy grid active just barely at that point, and then if the grid's already active, then technicians might be worth signing. If it's really marginal between squares and technicians, which for all I know it's not, but I'm probably not going to calculate the numbers, so even if you calculate the estimated value of something, that always makes assumptions like one research point equals one energy that aren't necessarily true. The squares help produce research immunity by buffing the knights.
Research concluded.
Artificial workforce. These artificial work units are perfect for menial labor tasks. They're hardworking and capable of following simple vocal instructions, but should not be expected to climb stairs. Once I have like one of these pops, I can restore the backup copy I made of the faction thing and not have to worry about authoritarians not being happy when they should. Of course, it does mean the AI empires will have authoritarian factions that aren't happy when they should be. By using the vanilla files, ironically be helping, hurting the AI. Give myself advantage, but oh well, I want the down achievements. Now choose nanomechanics for a materials workshop. There are places I might want that. Or synthetic crystal plants, which could allow a synth to produce rare crystals, I suppose. Destroyers. Materials workshop. I mean, this is a tech to get a building, to get research, to get other things. It takes a long time to pay for itself. Unless I'm going hard into engineering, like I did go hard into xenobiology. Stellaris Corvette pilot has an instant bonus, on the other hand. This won't be useful until I have much higher levels of manufacturing on. I mean, provides some benefit from the beginning, but with the upkeep plus the construction costs, yeah. For now, course, how many Corvettes am I going to build? Very few. Very few, maybe one. More to keep up naval cap and fill out my reserve fleet. To 20 ships. Shoot. Crystallization process is complicated and difficult, but synthetic crystals can be manufactured by using specialized industrial plants. Could replace the temple with materials workshop. Unlikely. Should want priests there. Do the same here. Though on the capital. This is going to be replaced with the monument. This could be a materials workshop. Keep the archive so I can keep a monument in these build slots. So I only get one materials workshop. More efficient engineering. Give me a sec to think. Oh, I just freaking realized this is not rare moat mining. Build mine station is a chemical plant. It's this earlier and people were probably yelling at me for dumb shit I said. But I'm gonna watch it. So I'm already doing that, probably in a synth eventually. And I should have done quantum computing. This. Macro summon of robots. Could have done top material labs. I think I unlocked this recently. Let's do job efficiency for researchers. This is reduced upkeep. This is extra. Just denser research than normal labs. Data-driven theory facility. By supporting our theorists with high volumes of experimental data, we can massively enhance our research efficiency. So that's like a supercomputer thing. But yeah, I'll be producing moats. Becomes less efficient to try and produce one strategic resource probably, because they have relatively. I end up with fewer artisans in the world because always so many build slots. Yeah, so I'm definitely not doing that. Not sure I want to do this either. Can run priests for a little while longer. Alright, I'll just do the Corvette build patterns. It's cheap. And it will help win a war, which is eventually coming against the Hive. I may build more fleets than I have now, and I might even make it cheaper to upgrade my Corvettes to better versions. Standardized Corvette patterns. Establishing new standards for the modeling and construction of Corvettes greatly improves the efficiency of the production pipeline. Combination with improved Corvette hulls helps me get the most out of Corvettes instead of trying to go for bigger ship classes, which is like, destroyers can be useful, I suppose. But anything bigger than a destroyer is just slow. It takes longer to get where it needs to go. That's the main reason not to use the bigger ships. In addition to evasion, if you do destroyers, you're probably using them to speccing them to kill Corvettes a lot of the time. End up with some medium weapon emplacements, which can give a bit more utility when attacking star bases, which you can't dodge, but they don't slow a fleet down too much. Plus, they act as a flagship for Corvettes. your admiral sits in the biggest ship class in the fleet. So if you have a destroyer, it's that, and it'll be less likely to be destroyed if it's all corvettes. And anytime a corvette dies, the admiral has a chance to die. So destroyers are eventually useful. I probably don't want to go bigger in them though. And the bulk backbone of my fleet would be corvettes probably. Anyhow, I bet I can do robot facilities in this slot. Yep. I'll do it here because this may eventually be redeveloped and this may become invalid. It's not like I can do it there. High-tech factories where skilled roboticists assemble the latest robot models. Forget if I... Yeah. Can't set up a robot template yet, but as soon as I get these done, you know, since it's no longer a growth bar of like one robot after a month, and I can almost instantly, unless it's just randomized in some months, it's biological pops in some months robots. But it'll be very quickly, a lot of robots, and then I can re-enable achievements basically. And the authoritarians will be happy even if I do higher living standards. So, cool. Robots to support higher standards of living. I guess that model of more equal society works authoritarians as long as they feel it's not workers getting their fair share. Well, to them it'd be more than their fair share because they disagree about what's fair. Authoritarians look down on the poor, the working poor. Just as so, you know, like the U.S. is authoritarian, but the politicians pretend to not be. But you know, and this isn't like a Democrat-Republican thing. Many Democrats are authoritarian. Many Democrats look down on poor people, even if they say they don't. There's elitism in both parties. And the Republicans of this Faux populism while actually making the rich richer. Like many things, it's somewhat more complicated. Definitely disable that. Won't be doing the automation building until after the robots. Robots also reduce pressure on my food supplies, though. That won't be an issue for much longer. I mean, I have enough surplus. Yeah, in fact, if I got more food, I know what to do with. And they don't produce faction unity. The big thing is +2 pop growth a month. That's the main reason for them. Interestingly, I could swap this to an urban expansion. Have all the same buildings. Fewer researchers and priests, but well, then I could have kept a medical center there instead of the temple, maybe. Interesting. Probably not worthwhile, though. Essentially moving the entire archives here. Space station. Where they're in the research district. Hush place of servers in silence. I don't know if it's more secure there. I guess no natural disasters in space, so it probably is. You don't want no hurricane's going to destroy the servers or something. So there's less political stability. So maybe risk like someone blowing the servers up. From game of life perspective, you'd rather have the housing where it's less stable. Where you can grow pops instead of working jobs and be less productive. Housing and like pop production buildings. Eventually swap the civilian industries for medical center and anchor. Can't do a housing building without Voidborn perk. But menus are in shortage, and yeah, maybe I'll do that someday. As I move all the civilian industry to synth. It should be more productive due to stability. That's minerals right there, so easier for trade value perspective, except it won't. Consumer goods aren't needed there like they are in anchor, so maybe not. Anyways.
Construction completed.
New starbase. Yeah, I don't want to upgrade this before starting the next one. Let's talk about I could do one, but actually, do trade hubs to delay next starbase less, and because trade actually, well, trade's real well with the AIs right now. Trade hub, hydroponics bay, trade hub. Soon another starbase. I just want to do in here, out there. Protect against raids. And the hive will know they'll show up in force and destroy. Here then, to delay anything reaching Hesuk, but close enough they can potentially meet any incursions with a fleet next to the starbase. If it's a small enough force. If it's a larger one, I just let this delay anything reaching Hesuk. Nah, this will delay anything reaching Whitson as well. Yeah, I'll do Althar. Oh. I'm sorry, I'm tired, and I should be cutting this video any second now. Already getting to 2 videos that are almost as long as I'd ever want to do them. Starting work on the robots is exciting. What am I doing now? Oh, probably waiting for Bubbles to catch up. No, she's already... Why is she back here? Expect her to be catching up. Wait.
Engaging hostile forces.
Ah. Wow. Shoot. Oh wow. Realized that something was not quite working the way I'd hoped it was. A little too late there. Don't know why I must have accidentally not selected Bubbles before when telling the whole group to advance to the asteroid. Oh. Alright. These aren't actually civilians, they're pre-sapiens. I regret this for a take off here. May swap this to this, or maybe just planetary unification with extra uni. Nah. Nine months in this. all of it. Maybe I'll just grab epigenetic triggers without doing Genesis Arc. It's a lot of alloys. Genesis Arc delays new star bases by like at least 7. Yeah, around 7 months, a little less. The rate I'm producing always. No. I get like 500 per Genesis Preserve. That's dumb. Need 2 districts. So I actually can't do a Genesis Preserve and Anchor. Decides to demolish and orders Demence or something. Probably wait till I expand the habitat then. Yeah, let's take a look at these. Alright, armor shields. Damage output. Small red lasers. All they use? Lasers. Looks like it. Not seeing any signs of... They might... It's probably lasers and missiles? That'd be my guess. And the missiles are getting shot down. That or it's all lasers. Let's see. 56 military power. Show a military power estimate. That would be 75. The right defenses for it, but yeah, I don't know. 6-3. These. Okay, yeah, they probably are all lasers. So shields are the right defense against them. At least they're corvettes. Which make these bug blasts awesome. Very cost effective. Bracers, less so. The armor does provide more total survivability. Well, I guess not against laser using enemies though. It was meant for killing wood worms. Alright, no ships lost on my part. Again. No ships damaged. Bubbles still hasn't fully healed from before, it looks like. She does heal, right? From... Gather here. So I should actually take care of the mining core. I'm curious to see if Bubbles heals. I know she's going to be a favorite, and this is probably the last thing I do. What's worth Coast Fleet destroyed. By the way. That's surprising. Yeah, she does heal. I think I want to take care of these mining drones quickly. So we can deal with the rest of the red profits. Maybe I'll deal with these too. Oh no, 4K power. Not a chance. What is this? Their home base? Just a large fleet? I don't know. I'll deal with these, then go here. Create a path for outpost. Cool. Alright. Time to start on a starbase out there. There's a speed bump. 10 enemies. And a source of food and trade for myself. More debris. Just combat computers. Alright, this is enough. I'm gonna save here. I hope you folks enjoyed this. Take care of each other. Kind yourselves. May you always find a guiding star. Tweet home. Until next time, this Northstar I do. And best of luck.